Hello and welcome to our student Q&A panel. We're joined by past and current students, and they're going to share their experience with you of studying at the University of Glasgow as master's students. Please use the chat box, the Q&A box, to ask any questions that you have, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. We are recording this session, so don't panic if you have to leave early. We will be sharing it afterwards for you to watch back. So we'll start off by introducing our panel. Shelley, would you like to kick off?
Hello. So I'm Shelley from Taiwan, and I'm currently studying in MSc Infection Biology. Yes.
Savitha?
Hi, I'm Savitha Ravindran. I'm from India. So I'm a past student. So I did my infection biology master's in 2022. So currently I'm working as a research technician at Center for Virus Research, University of Glasgow.
Fab. It'll be nice to then hear from a current student and how you're finding it now, and then what it's like after university life, after your master's. I suppose one of our first questions is why did you choose to study MSc Infection Biology, and why did you choose to study it at University of Glasgow? Shelley, you all right starting off again?
Yes. So the reason why I chose to study infection biology is like during my undergrad, I studied biomedical sciences, and I remember I found like virus very fascinating, and so that's why I decided to study a master in like related field. And so I approached to one of the professors who taught virology in my university, and he suggested, oh, University of Glasgow, they've got a Center of Virus Research, and so he recommended me to apply to University of Glasgow. Um, I find like this course really matched what I expected, what I am interested in, and what I want to learn. And it is good that I also met a lot of people who are also very interested in infection disease. And so this is a really good experience for me.
Oh, great. And Savitha, what about yourself? Why infection biology and why the University of Glasgow?
Yeah, same here. My undergraduate degree was in biomedical science. Then after that, I choose to specialize in microbiology in India. This is in India. Okay, so I had a master's degree in microbiology as well. So, but in India, there is no real the chance to do more in virology is very, very less. So, at that time, then COVID started. So everyone got interested in virology, as me too. And I also find that there are not many labs who actually do virology. So I searched and I found Center of Virus Research is one of the leading virology research center in the whole world. So I just wanted to study virology. I want to specialize in virology basically. So I put in my application for infection biology and I specialized in virology. And here I am. I'm working in Center for Virus Research, which was a dream. Which when I came, I just want to come and see a real virus research lab. So and I'm working now here. So I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? Because I suppose you're undergraduate, you learn about a lot of different things, and then masters just gives you that opportunity to really kind of specialize what you've became interested in during your undergrad, which is really good.
Yes.
Both of you mentioned your undergrad. Did you study in the UK? Well, Savitha, you obviously studied in India, but how did you find the study in terms of like undergrad to postgraduate taught? Because it's very different teaching styles, but also teaching in countries is very different. So I imagine India is very different to like the UK.
Yes, it's very different because in India, basically, it's all exam-based approach. Like you will have a course and you will have a definite exam towards the end of the course. So you have to basically prepare for the exam. What I find here is very difficult because you are like continuously preparing throughout the year, which I find very interesting because you are you have to maintain your grade, so you have to put in your hard work. So it's like throughout the course you have to put in the hard work. That kind of leverage us to another level. So you'll be like on top of everything, like presentation, like writing, whatever, like data analysis, and I find it very good because in India it's not bad, but we'll prepare for exam, but we'll push everything towards the end of the course so that when the exam approaches, we will study more in detail. But here that's not the case. Just throughout the course. So
Oh, I think you froze there, Savitha. Hopefully we get you back. But Shelley, what about yourself? Where did you do your undergraduate?
So I did my undergraduate in UK, but in England, University of Sussex. So I'm quite used to the teaching style of UK. So for examples, like the assignment will be in like we'll have to write an essay or write a lab report. So in terms of like teaching style, it isn't like it isn't very different from like my undergrad to masters, but I do find about the um like the teaching content and about the workload. It is more like heavy in masters.
I suppose that's to be expected though, isn't it? Because it is much more student led rather than here's a bit of work, we're going to teach you this, next we'll teach you this. We've got a new panel member which joined us, which is great. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Neelotpala and I am studying my MSc in Infection Biology alongside Shelley. And to be honest, I had attended this panel when I was looking for which university I needed to join. And honestly, I did listen to Savitha ma'am at that time as well. And I quite agree with whatever she said. The course is really, really intensive, especially the host pathogen interaction course. And yeah, I did my undergrad from India, and I will actually I already hold an MTech in pharmaceutical biotechnology. And well, I was more interested in studying how oncoviruses kind of work and how their interaction with hosts cause cancer or lead to cancer, and then probably prepare like drugs based on that. So, pharmaceutical biotechnology and then virology here. And well, coming to the question as to how this is different from my undergrad, well, what I really feel is that like our assignments are mostly very similar. What we have here, like as Shelley mentioned, that we have like essay-based exams and essay writing and everything. Everything is similar. It's just the grading scale that's quite different. It takes a while to get a grasp of that. So it's better if you concentrate on the first interaction session that we have once on campus to understand and let ask as many questions you want to the professors because they love answering questions here.
Yeah, I think that's a really. Oh, I'm actually hearing myself back. Is that better? That's better. Sorry, that was really annoying. It's the echo. Oh, I've lost my train of thought. Never mind. It's good to see you back, Savitha. Thank you very much for joining us again. Um, I'm just looking at other questions. Please use the chat box in the Q&A that we've got there, and we will do our best to answer those. Another question we've got is, what are you enjoying most about your masters so far? So if anybody would like to take off for that one.
I think I'll answer that. My most favorite part about this master's was the trip to Charles Rivers, which we had a chance, like the ones who took, in silico studies as in vivo studies as their optionals, got to visit Charles Rivers, and where we like interacted with like animals and like how we learned how animal studies are being conducted, which kind of pushed me more towards, probably sticking to cells on a plate. But yeah, animal studies are necessary at the same time. And additionally, we did have like a few interaction sessions with like people in the industry. So that was good as well because we got an insight, like we got both an academic insight and an industrial insight based on how things work in the real world out there. So that was really good as well.
Great. Anybody else? What are you enjoying most, or what did you enjoy most about your masters? Oh, Savitha, you're on mute. Sorry, that was me.
Sorry for that. So, so basically, I enjoy the course very much. So, what I enjoy most is like the way we can approach the professors to ask questions. So, if you have a question, you just email. You are most 101% you will get a reply back. So that's like very approachable. So that kind of like helped me in clearing my doubts, and I like uh, i- if you want to a personal opinion of about your presentation or your essay or whatever it is, if you can just pop in email and you will definitely get a reply back. So that's like very helpful for my course. Then of course we had a trip to scene where we for the very first course. That also I enjoyed a lot.
Nice. Shelley, what about yourself? What are you enjoying most?
I think so far it's like the research project that I'm doing now. So like at the end of the masters, we get to choose like doing a research project for like 3 months. It can be either like lab based or dissertation style, like review articles, or if you're interested in like data analysis or bioinformatics, there are like a very wide range of projects that you get to choose. And they are all the projects that are currently undergoing research. So it is very new. And for me, it is also a good chance to have like research experience in the studies and areas that I'm interested. So for example, I'm now doing influenza reporter virus. So yeah, it is really cool, and I get to be involved in skills like cell cultures or like reverse genetics or plaque assays. So like all these skills that I have learned from the textbooks, but never have the hands-on experience, and that is really excited and really part that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that's
Shelley,
really cool.
Shelley, can I ask which lab you are in?
Edward Hutchinson's.
Yeah, no, that's really good. And you mentioned it there, like we've got loads of research going on in the university. So, the project that you're working on then, Shelley, is that part of ongoing research that's within the university, like as in live research that you're helping to contribute to?
Yes.
That's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool.
And just on projects, it'd be good if you could share a wee bit about what your projects are on or what your project was on, just to give an idea of the sort of the opportunities there, I suppose, that you can really tailor it to your interest and the research that's going on within the school. So, Savitha, do you remember what your project was on?
Oh yes, my project was with Professor Brian Willett. So he is a professor of viral immunology. So I chose the project because my background was biomedical science. So I wanted some project I wanted to choose a lab who work on clinical samples. So he's the only one person who works on clinical samples. So I choose the project. It was like very intense and very means I learned a lot because even though I have experience, I'm not very fresher. I have experience, I have work experience. So, but I learned how to generate pseudotype viruses. Pseudotype viruses are like a fake virus, not fake virus. It's not real virus. Pseudo means fake. So it's like basically what we are doing is to work with the virus in a level 2 laboratory. We kind of modify the virus in such a way that it will not infect, but we can use it for study. So I learned the transfection. I learned how to make pseudotype viruses, and the basically my project was to test the SARS-CoV-2 sera, which has SARS-CoV-2 antibodies, whether it will cross-protect us from related viruses from bat and pangolin, because those viruses are still in circulation. If another pandemic comes, whether the antibodies or the protection which we got through vaccination and infection will help us to defend those viruses. And I got the answer. So it will protect many different viruses to many different capacities. So after joining the lab, after joining the work, so we have basically published that work in a much higher level, because did more work, and one person, a postdoctoral research fellow, did modeling, and he has proved that it will actually help us protect from future infections. So that's very interesting. So I learned a lot, and then data analysis, then report, and the presentation. It was like very intense, but it was very enjoyable.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. Neelotpala, what about yourself? What's your project on?
Well, the project that I'm working on is actually a virus that's like a really old relative of herpes virus, and currently it infects most of the fishes. So it kind of infects catfishes, which is like kind of like the daily regular meal of people these days because it's like grown in really mass. So we are trying to figure out like a previous member of our lab, they had created cryo-EM plates of these. So like the structures were elucidated of these viruses, and we found that they had similar structures to the current herpes virus, which was kind of modified in the current herpes virus, but to use simple words, it was quite open in the old virus that infects fishes. So I'm trying to understand what role this particular structure plays in infection, because we know that that particular portion of the viral protein goes and interacts with the nuclear membrane, but we do not know what it does once it's there. So it stays attached or it gets off. So we're just trying to figure that out. So right now I'm currently trying to, express the protein in a better way and purify it, like just individually purify it. But let's see where it goes. Other than that, well, I'm trying to it's helping me learn like different techniques like molecular docking, and it's given me a chance to work on cell culture as well. At a learn cell culture, do transfections, and again, my background is in molecular biology, so it gives me a chance to combine that as well. And during my undergrad, I used to work on like biochemistry, so it kind of helped me bring in all of my skills all together and learn more skills on top of that. So that's really good for me. That's what I was looking
Yeah,
for as well.
no, that's great, isn't it? Because you've
Mm.
got your skills that you know, you can use them, work on them, and then develop new ones, which is great. You're always learning. We've actually got some questions that have popped into the Q&A box. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. One of them is about sort of networking. Did you get the chance to meet with any sort of industry partners or network at events or anything to help you with your career, I suppose, after you finish your studies?
Well, actually, oh, sorry.
Okay. Go. No, no, please
Uh,
carry on.
well, there was this thing called Future Fest in the beginning of the year, which I was actually able to attend, where we had like a few companies come in, like, IQVIA and AstraZeneca, like just to name a few big names. And then before our course started on September 5th, there was this thing hosted by the CVR where the current PhDs and PGR students had a chance to present their research, where I had a chance to interact with the professors, and as well as like there were a few companies not that well known, but there were a good few companies. Then there were two more interaction sessions. One was individually with IQVIA, which I wasn't able to attend. So I would suggest plan your time accordingly, because you never know, like sometimes you could just be based on like the far off campus where most of the things happen in the main campus. So you need to figure out where you need to live so that you can actually attend all of these sessions that happen both on both campuses.
Yeah, I would like to add on to that, because you will get email notification for most of the events which is happening well in advance. So plan your time, attend as much as events as you can based on your interest. Because I was interested in volunteering, so I got many different opportunities to volunteer for primary school microbiology workshop, and like Same way there are career first happening, there are like other opportunities, even not in campus, even in nearby universities as well. So if you really plan your time, you can make use of most of the things.
I think that's the thing. There's so much going on in the university, isn't there? Like out with your studies as well, that there's loads of things that you can go along to and find out more. There's clubs, societies that you can join that are linked to what you're studying, but also just like your personal interests. On that, did have you joined any of the clubs and societies that we've got? Because there's literally a club for everything, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah, you will grow with time. That's what initially when you come, especially from a different country, it will be a little bit overwhelming to get along with the system. But if you invest time, it's all depend on you. Half of the work you have to do because you have to find opportunities, you have to attend, you have to ask questions. I always tell students whoever I meet, if you are shy to ask question in a class, because usually if coming from India, you will be shy in the first instance. You always can drop an email, then you will get that you will get a reply. Slowly you can build the confidence, then explore as much opportunities as you can. It's you have to put your work, put your interest, your work, then only it will, then you'll sure get the reward.
Yeah, that's very true. The opportunities are there. You just need to take them, don't you? And just you might be a bit shy, but just yeah, email,
Yeah,
chat to someone. But yeah,
yeah,
it's funny because we meet students at the start and they're very quiet, a bit unsure, and then by the end they're just a whole different person. They've just grown in confidence, which is brilliant.
exactly. Yes.
Um, we've got a question about what mistakes do freshers make academically. So have you got any top tips? What would you tell yourself? What would that have been about 11 months ago when you were starting your masters? What do you wish you'd have known? What advice would you give them? Shelley, do you want to go
Um,
first?
yeah, I'll say like plan ahead of your assignment deadlines, which is well, it seems like everyone agree with that. So, so like the deadline may be like 1 month or 2 months later, and it seems like very far away, but it is always at the end of when near the deadlines. There's so many things going on. There's club societies, you hang out with a friend or your roommate, and you get to meet a lot of people, and then you'll realize that oh, the deadline is actually a week later, and yeah, and so what my advice is, plan ahead, just even though it seems far away, just start with bit by bits, and like don't leave like everything till the end. Yes, and like don't put a lot of like stress on yourself. So that's what my advice will be.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. Yeah, plan ahead. Don't leave everything to the last minute because it will quickly get on top of you.
Yes.
Anybody else? Any other top tips?
I would suggest reading up on the lecture right before classes because sometimes the professors just talk about things that you have no idea about. Because I know that people come from different backgrounds and like not everybody has the same level of understanding of each and every subject. So read not maybe not well ahead, but like just go through the slides, figure out if you have any questions about something or if you don't understand something at all, read up before and then listen to the professor in the class. That's really going to help you write your papers, like essay based exam, and then try to get oriented with like research papers initially from the beginning, because then it would help you with the first semester exams that we have here. And other than that, for the second semester, focus on interacting with the professors more, because you will have professor, like each and every professor would be different for each and every class. So you need to, show up. Like that's what I felt like during the second semester. The more you show up, the better grades you also get. Like then the more you're seen in class, because they realize that you're actually interacting with the content that they're teaching, and most of them were like content interaction based classes, which is really good as well. Like that's like an amazing plus point to this course that I really loved. So there's that.
Yeah, that's great. Savitha, what about yourself? Anything that's not been covered that you'd like to add?
No, the same thing as Shelley said. Okay, because if we are, we'll think that there is a lot of time. Actually, it's not there. You really have to put in the work really hard, because if that is the rules are really strict for students. If you submit even 1 minute late, your grades will be lowered. So we'll not be able to afford that. So it's like if last minute some internet is not working or something like that, don't keep anything for the last minute, please. Just at least plan a day ahead for submission. And meanwhile, you can also take if you are genuinely sick or something, you will get an extension, but don't go for that. You just submit everything as early as possible. And also, like it is said that okay, the classes are really intense. So for 1 hour class, we have to prepare 10 hour additionally from our side. So that's really true, because the research which is happening, or the professors are at international level. So it's not easy for us to just catch up with. So we have to really work hard and put our effort. Then the great thing is that they are there to help. If you ask a question, if you don't understand anything, they will explain it. They will help you out. But you have to really work hard from your side as well.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. I can't believe we're at the end of this already. It's been so nice chatting to you all. I think our last question there, what are your plans for the future? So, um, Savitha, do you want to go first? Because you're kind of in your future after your MSc, although you, if you know what I mean. But can you tell us a bit about what did you do between finishing your masters and to getting to where you are now?
Oh, so I was so lucky to get this job, because as soon as I finished my master's, so this job opening which I'm doing now as current open, because that was basically exactly what I was doing for my master's, the same kind of stuff. So I applied and I got obviously I got selected, because I was familiar to the situation, to the institute as well, and I also got the skills which was needed. So from now I have gained enough experience in virology. Now I will focus on getting into a PhD program, because that's the next step. So to go forward, so that's my goal, to get into a PhD program next.
Oh, wow, so we've not put you off education completely then. That's really good. And what about our current students? What are your plans for after graduation, which isn't that far away, which is really scary?
So for me, my current plan is to, after my graduate, is to apply for a PhD. Because before I start my master's, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to do like a research career. But after like I've studied a master and doing like a research project, I find like this is really like a thing for me. And so that's why I decided like after this I'm going to like study a PhD and uh probably in virology, but also open to like other fields and the biology in general.
Well, for me, I probably will be working similarly as Shelley, but I think I would be like, get an industrial job or like work in a lab just as a research as a technician or something for like a year or two and then apply for PhDs, because that seems like the right path for me. Like, as I want to, like, gain more experience and make a better profile for myself. So that's what I'm gonna choose to do. Probably gonna stick to virology because I really love it. Uh, I would definitely be open to projects in cancer and bacteriology, though.
Ah,
Oh,
very cool.
I just I just want to add to that. If all of us have virology background here, but University of Glasgow also have a microbiology and parasitology center, which is doing very well. So keep your options open.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think it just, oh, sorry, Shelley, when you go.
sorry. I want to add like the university um adds a lot of career opportunities like job fairs or like on campus part-time jobs, which there's a lot of career opportunities that you can do research, and I'm sure it will help a lot with your future like employable skills. Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to add because a lot of people, a lot of students do need to sort of work part time alongside their studies to help fund it. So yeah, it's good to know that all those opportunities are shared with you. That is us now at the end of the session. It's been so nice to chat to you and hear about what your plans are for the future, how you're enjoying University of Glasgow, and it's really nice to hear from you, Savitha, about what life's like after university. So thanks very much for taking time out of your day. And hopefully everybody watching has found it helpful. If you do have any questions, we do have email addresses on all of our programme web pages, so please do get in touch and ask any question, big or small, and hopefully we'll see you all come September. So thanks very much. Bye bye.